Jasonafex. This is probably a household name for most furries out there. He's amassed a total of over 95,000 followers between his Fur Affinity, Ink Bunny, and Twitter accounts. Although he initially grew his following in the Team Fortress 2 fandom with his Gmod videos and lewd pyro models, he quickly discovered a much easier path to online popularity, using the Puppet tool in After Effects to turn regular furry art into an animated version of its former self. These animations are his primary form of content nowadays, being the main driving force for his followers besides the game he's working on and his YouTube. I suppose. Despite his mostly harmless yiff dealing and YouTube videos that honestly just aren't for me, Jason appears to have a habit of just looking like the biggest bellend, in my opinion. A surprising amount of drama surrounds this man, one of these being a scandal involving him and his girlfriend. And no, not that one. Not yet at least. I'm referring to one involving a crowdfunding page Jason made. The story starts in 2015. Jason had already moved from his home in Australia, heading to live with his girlfriend in Canada, who was still living with her alcoholic father and mother with an extreme hoarding problem. Looking through the page, it definitely looks like they needed some genuine assistance. They only asked for help to improve the conditions that they were living in, and people pitched in. Eventually, they would manage to reach their goal of $3,000. With these funds, they would go on to fix up their situation by purchasing a purebred Shiba Inu. That, along with doggy stairs for their bed. Now, this fundraiser was done regardless of the 5 separate Patreons existing between the both of them. Jason's personal, another for Bare Backstreets, a game he was working on that he was planning to cancel at the time, 2 for his game of Morris, and 1 for his girlfriend. The reason I bring these up is due to the fact that they've been gradually losing contributors, according to Jason himself. A reason for this decline might have something to do with selling off rewards that people had paid $700 for. It could also involve an accident that happened with one of his raffles. People had paid money for a chance to have a drawing they liked animated by the lizard himself. The first person who won the raffle was actually turned down, due to the fact that the image they selected wasn't sexual. This decision most definitely drew backlash, getting to the point where another artist noticed the crapstorm and decided to go in and animate the image Jason had turned down. Instead of allowing the situation to de-escalate, he decided it would be best to leave a snarky comment on how the artist had done. As you would expect, people were quick to call him out on his less than ideal behavior, but this is far from one of his worst offenses. The peak of Jason's drama came when he posted this here Fur Affinity journal titled, Debunking Asinine Troll Gossip. Nothing really stood out to me looking through this, other than the fact that Jason was 6 feet tall at the time he wrote this. I am 3 inches taller than Jasonafex. Eat that, lizard man. Another thing that kinda stuck out was Jasonafex is a pedo. Kabier is underage. Here he simply says that Kabier was 20 and he's 24, debunking this claim stating that the plane tickets have dates on them to corroborate his story. Everything else here just seems to be rumors akin to the debunk page Yandev made on his website. So, that's Jasonafex for you. Or at least his earlier faults. There are 2 events I want to dive into before we wrap up our session here. The first of these events being an audio recording between Jason, Caitlin, and someone by the name of Bleakley. Before we dive into the contents of the recording here, I want to give you the context of the situation. Bleakley, or Bleak Stedler, is a furry artist. While he isn't as large as Kabier or Jason number-wise, their artwork is most certainly worth a look into. Now, Bleakley ended up befriending the 2 since they were in the same area. He even ended up giving them a place to stay. All he asked was that the 2 of them financially contribute, whether it be for groceries or rent. He asked politely for some time before finally putting his foot down. And what happened when he decided to do this?
Where did this come from? I asked Jay, why was I being booted?
Because I fucking hate you! I want nothing to do with you!
Why do you hate me? Why?
Because you're a liar? You're deceitful? You treat me like shit. You're trying to get my boyfriend to break up with me?
No,
You tried
I did
to
not say
touch
that.
me inappropriately?
And now you're trying to make us pay rent. I had to tell
You
her that.
motherfucker! You live here for free. If I had
It doesn't matter.
if I had any method to contact your father and tell him that you weren't going to school, I fucking would. Because you don't deserve to live here. You deserve to be out on the fucking street, dude. Because you're a fucking liar. I am done with you. Done.
Can I speak?
No. I'm fucking done with you.
The entire thing is somewhat of an uncomfortable listen, as it's simply Jason and Kabier scolding Bleakley for having the audacity to ask them to pay rent. In the start, Bleakley asked the duo why he had gotten booted from their friend group on Discord, then being met with a blunt response from a somewhat harpy-like Kabier.
You're a fucking man-child, dude.
Man-child, yeah.
That's the reason why you're 26 and a virgin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whew.
You fucking deserve it.
I sure do.
Yes, you do. I will never speak to you again once I'm out. I'm gone.
I didn't ask you. If that's what you feel is best, then go ahead.
There's not exactly much of a redeeming glow for these two anywhere in this clip. In my own thoughts, Jason seems like someone you could have a discussion with in real life. There could be a respectful back and forth with him. As respectful as you would expect. Kabier, on the other hand.
Hello? I don't want you having anything to do with my friends. I'm gonna tell all my friends how much of a piece of fucking shit you are. And how emotionally abusive you are. I'm fucking destroying you. That's it. You think you had a social circle? Nah, not anymore. You fucked with the wrong person.
I know I'm supposed to remain neutral, but come on now. Anyway, the remainder of this clip is essentially the two of them teaming up against Bleakley, blackmailing him with lying to his parents about going to college, simply because he asked for rent.
You don't have to resort to name calling.
Yeah,
no, we do.
Because nothing else works.
Nothing else works.
I'm like exhausted.
We are both mentally exhausted. It's tearing our relationship apart. You're literally causing a rift between a 5-year relationship, and you don't get it. All because of you!
Almost every line that comes out of them is just another manipulative verse, just designed to make their victim feel like they're always in the wrong, only to follow up with all they wanted was to see him happy.
We've helped you so much, and you are so fucking ungrateful.
I appreciate...
No, you're not!
You've been saying to us for fucking ages that we use you. You don't have anything! I don't give a shit about this. It's a fucking building. I can live anywhere. I don't give a fuck about your fucking house.
All we gave a shit about was you and seeing you happy.
And that's the goddamn honest truth.
It becomes especially infuriating how the two go to say how he wasn't abused, how he was disciplined, and that they were true victims. However, there were two lines here that I found almost humorously bad.
Because we don't fucking lie. You can post this conversation, if you're recording it, anywhere.
No one will believe you.
No one will fucking believe you.
Yeah, because, well, you guys are popular.
And why are we popular? Because we do the right fucking thing.
Who do you think the cops are going to trust? The predatory creep or the female that is distressed out of her fucking mind right now?
They would then go on to do not the right thing. Because following this hour-long shout match, Kabier would then go to the police, as well as Twitter, making an attempt to pull a false Me Too on Bleakley. Even with the tweet, they would go on quickly to spread the narrative to their relatives and friends. The police even went to interrogate Bleakley, where he would hand over the recordings he had, and they refused to press charges based on how Kabier's story was incredibly inconsistent. Bleakley didn't even press charges himself. He just wanted to move on from the entire ordeal. You can hear in the clip how defeated he sounds, as if being verbally abused was a normal occurrence. I can't exactly show you the source tweet for proof because, yeah, but Jasonafex does mention it in his Fur Affinity journal, saying how they were in a temporary living situation to distance themselves between them and the offender, so they can buy a house safely. You could bring up how it's common courtesy that they didn't send a full-on mob against this guy, although you could also just bring up how the whole thing was a lie. Before this journal, they hyped up their move in with Bleakley, talking on how it was a great opportunity, but the moment rent became a clear and conscious concern, he attacked, saying that he could live anywhere and that it was Bleakley who begged him to stay. However, that was only one of the abhorrent unfoldings I wanted to go through. The next and final occurrence still involves less than desirable audio, just in a different sense. Now, Kabier, or Caitlin, was on DeviantArt before joining Fur Affinity in 2012, her original handles being Kabier and Cabby Cakes. Her DeviantArt was active for 5 years. the birthday on the account matching a posted ID. The difference though was that the ID said 1996, where the account said 1994. However, there was one profile that goes back further, this being the account Kuzike. Not only does the account match the ID's date of birth, but this account comes with photos of Kate as well as art and pics of her lioness character. Moving forward, we can see that on March 19th, 2012, she had won a prize that she had asked to feature her and her boyfriend at the time, Soren, who had gone by Sinche on DeviantArt and Aaron on Fur Affinity. With Soren living in Germany, that would make this a long-distance relationship. At the time, Aaron appears to have changed the design for his lion around 3 years ago, removing most remnants of the previous design. The only one locatable seems to be a not safe for work commission he had received, but nonetheless, keep Aaron in mind, as he plays a very important part in the main plot of this event. This piece from Twitterloo was posted about a month after Kate joined Fur Affinity, confirming that she had her lioness character when she joined in 2012. So, where does Jason fit into this picture? The two met while Kate was still with Aaron in 2012. They appear to have scrubbed their accounts of this, but as you would expect, nothing really disappears on the internet. Jason had gone and done a commission for Kate and Aaron while the two were still together. This commission also had audio to accompany it, a specific piece of audio that there have been multiple rumors surrounding. Well, I'm here to tell you that those weren't exactly rumors. You hear that? That's the sound of the underage. This commission featured art drawn by herself, animated by Jason, with voices coming from her and Aaron. Just searching this animation by the crude title of Take It Hard will show a video version deleted by its uploader, yet still sporting the 2012 tag. Going by these dates, one can conclude that at the time of this commission being posted, Kate would have been no older than 16 at the time of this being put together. It also doesn't help that, according to Aaron's Facebook, he was born in 1993, making him no older than 19 at the time of this occurrence. Makes it look like Kate's been around people taking advantage of her longer than her time with just Jason. Going back to the art, the commission was posted around 2012. Going by time, it would make sense why her lioness is shown here, and shortly after, she has a new character by the name of Zell in December of the same year. This commission being with someone. Anyway, as Aaron and Kate broke up, Jason found his way in not too long after. No problem with that, except for the fact that in December of 2012, Kabier is 16, with Jason being around 21 years old. These two would go on to have their characters appearing in romantic and sexual art before Cabs would give her character away in May of 2013. And I'm sure we all know what comes after that. Now, this whole thing seems like quite the incriminating circumstance. However, this more or less acts isn't exactly as law-breaking as you would expect, seeing as the age of consent in Canada, as well as most parts of Australia, is 16. So, yeah. The only defense you can really muster for this one is, hey, it wasn't against the law. Now was it? So, that's the catalog of drama and less than stellar behavior of the well-known lizard man Jasonafex. Some may have issue with his constant use of dismissing proof with the constant mention of a straw man. Others may not see a problem with it, mainly due to the fact of how long ago it was and the fact that it wasn't illegal. So, what do you guys think? How redeemable do you think his actions are? Be sure to leave your thoughts and comments below, and until next time, we are adjourned.